Fellow students, we are to get gathered again, once again, to now go on to our Preparing the Essay Workshop 2 for the Juneteenth 2024 Mrs. Vivian Riddle Lansing Juneteenth Essay Competition and Scholarship Program. We welcome you today to our program. Let me first start by going over the agenda for Workshop 2. Workshop 2 will be presented as followed. The first video that you will have on your schedule is the Writing the Essay Workshop video, and that is going to be hosted by Rebecca Stimson of Juneteenth Education. Then we have answering the Juneteenth essay questions, and that video has been is being hosted by Ernest Connerly. That helps you respond to your essay questions. Everybody by category has essay questions that they'll be responding to. And then the third video for category 4 participants, which is our scholarship participants, is going to be scholarship information. So for 11th and 12th graders, the video for scholarship information is geared towards you. So with that, we're going to begin with writing the essay.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Stimson. I've been a member of the Juneteenth Education Committee for several years. I'm also a teacher, a writer, and an editor, and I really enjoy working with others on their writing. The purpose of this video is to help you prepare a successful essay for the Juneteenth essay competition by giving you an overview of the PowerPoint and other essay competition writing resources you have access to on the Juneteenth website, including the PowerPoint, which is saved as a PDF, so you don't need PowerPoint to view it, the Essay Writing Resource Guide, which I'm going to refer to as the guide, rubrics for each category so you know how judges will be scoring your essays, and all the information you need to apply, including rules and guidelines. You can go through the PowerPoint from start to finish, and you can view the 4 modules separately. I will summarize all the modules in this video, but I encourage you to go through them on your own. I also encourage you to read the guide because everything you need to know about writing a successful essay is in there, including links to documents and videos to assist you. We all read before we write. Reading actually helps you be a better writer. The more words and ideas you have access to, the better you can express yourself and understand the expression of others. So watch videos and films about Juneteenth and listen to podcasts, but be sure and read about Juneteenth too. Books, newspaper and magazine articles, blogs, and of course, websites. Just be sure your sources, the places and people the information comes from, are credible and accurate. Librarians can help you verify sources if you have questions. The first PowerPoint module is preparing to write. Okay. For the Juneteenth essay competition, your essay must have at least 5 paragraphs. The introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and the conclusion. The guide contains more links to specific resources. One video presented by a librarian goes beyond essay structure and includes instruction on outlining and sources for more advanced writers. Your first paragraph, your introduction, is where you present your thesis. The thesis is the first important factor in evaluating your essay, as you will see when you look at the scoring rubric the judges will use. Remember these 4 points. The thesis appears in the introduction, expresses your main idea or argument, is reinforced in the body paragraphs that follow, and is restated in the conclusion. If you are unclear about writing the thesis statement, see the guide for a review and links to additional resources. You'll see one focused specifically on the thesis. The introduction is your first paragraph. Your introduction contains your thesis and the 3 main points you will make in your essay. one main point for each one of the 3 body paragraphs that follow. You may have more than 3 body paragraphs. Just remember to include the main point for each paragraph in your introduction. It's important to tell your reader what to expect. The second PowerPoint model is developing the body paragraphs. In a successful essay, the topic sentence of each body paragraph supports your thesis and connects to one of the main ideas you put in your introduction. Each paragraph should have just one main idea. You then support that main idea with specific details in the body paragraphs. You will find links to a couple of handouts on structuring an essay in the guide. Use transition words to connect the body paragraphs to each other and help your reader see how your ideas are connected. Transition words show time shifts, words like before, later, or then. To show results, words like for that reason, therefore, as a result. And to summarize, words like finally, in other words, and to sum up. You can start each body paragraph with a transition to be sure your paragraphs are connected logically. Remember to use transitions to connect ideas within your paragraphs as well. See the guide under resources on the website for information about transitions. Your conclusion. Your conclusion summarizes your main points and reconnects your reader to your thesis, your purpose in writing the essay, using slightly different language than you used in your introduction. Don't just repeat what you said in your introduction. Remind your reader of the journey you've taken them on. Do not bring up any new information or new points. The third module is plagiarism. One of the big challenges for writing an essay or any piece of writing is making sure you provide credit to the source of the ideas and any actual words you borrow. Plagiarism, using someone else's words or ideas without giving them credit, is a kind of stealing. Plagiarizing is a serious academic offense. You cannot let your reader believe that an idea or description represents your thinking if you're repeating someone else's words or presenting an idea like it was your original thought. Here's how to avoid plagiarizing. Use your own words whenever possible. Keep track of your sources, the materials you use, books, articles, websites, interviews, film, on paper or in a specific document on your computer while you are doing your research. Putting them into a citation generator as you use them will save you a lot of time. I'll explain more about the citation generator in just a moment. Note or cite the source in your outline or draft whenever you find someone else's words or ideas you want to use or build off of. Do not wait. You think you will remember where it came from. 4 times out of 5, you will not. See the guide for how to credit another in your writing. Be sure you've written down all the information you or your reader would need to find that source again before you copy something someone else wrote or said into your essay. This is so that people can find, again, whatever you may have brought up, an idea or a person or a quote or a source that they might want to pursue. So you need to make note of the author, where it came from, the name of the publication or newspaper or blog or film or interview, and the date, the volume, what version it might be of the source. And remember to use quotation marks whenever you take more than 5 to 7 words directly from a source. 5 to 7 words. It's not very many. That's why it's always better to use your own words if you can. But a good quote is also very important. Again, because it can lead people to a source that might provide them more information. The websites that you can use to format your references and citations so you don't lose points are called citation generators. You do lose points if you don't properly document the sources that you use. See the guide for links for citation generators and also for how to actually quote people within or sources within your essay. The video done by the librarian includes more instruction and a link. Again, I really encourage you to watch that video. You'll know what it is because the citation shows that it's a librarian that has provided it. It is very important to credit the author or creator of an idea or thought. Develop good habits now so you protect your integrity, your reputation, and the integrity of your writing. People have lost scholarships, their jobs, and the respect of colleagues by failing to credit the originator of material or ideas they have used. If you can't remember where you got something, don't use it. The fourth module is proofreading. Very rarely does someone sit down and write something from start to finish that needs no correction or improvement. Most teachers and mentors can tell right away if you haven't reread your writing. It's really obvious. It's also frustrating for the reader because it makes the reading harder. In fact, proofreading shows respect for the reader and for the writing. If you care about your subject, you want people to have a positive experience reading your writing. The easiest way to catch some of those errors are through spelling and grammar checks that are part of most word processing programs, especially Word and Google Docs. If a red or blue line appears under words on your screen, or they're highlighted, there's a misspelled word or a grammar error for you to fix. The technology may give you suggestions, but you still need to understand the error in order to fix it properly. Don't just accept the suggestions from your computer without thinking it through. Proofreading is how you find the rough spots that make it hard for your reader to understand your writing. Proofreading can earn you points, not proofreading costs you points. The judges use rubrics that outline what is being evaluated and how many points it's worth to score the essays. Not proofreading means you will most likely lose points in more than one area of the rubric because of errors you did not catch. Grammar and spelling errors alone can cost you up to 5 of the total 35 points we can give an essay. These are the classic rough spots where errors make it hard for your reader to understand your writing. Using the wrong word, grammar mistakes, omissions, leaving a word out, misspellings, and awkward phrases. Most of these mistakes would be highlighted or underlined if you have spelling or grammar check on, so no excuses. My favorite proofreading rule is if you have to read a sentence or a paragraph more than twice to figure out what it means, there's something you need to fix. So how do you proofread a winning essay? You find a quiet place, preferably where no one can hear you and you won't be distracted. Read aloud slowly. Listen for errors in verb tense, word choice, and repeats, and sentence structure errors like fragments, incomplete thoughts or sentences, and run-ons, one sentence that needs to be 2 sentences. Make corrections as you proofread. After you've fixed an error, go back to the sentence before the error and start reading aloud again. Why read aloud? Because when you read silently in your head, your brain corrects your mistakes. For example, it adds in a word you left out. Another common mistake many people need to hear is shifting tenses. Your brain knows when you start a sentence using the past tense of the verb and then use the present tense later in the sentence. It makes the correction. Read your essay aloud to yourself until you do not find any more mistakes, or at least 2 times, all the way through. You've spent all of this time writing. It takes a fraction of the time to proofread, and it can make a huge difference. Finally, ask 2 people you feel comfortable with, a parent, a mentor, a friend, or another family member, to proofread your essay for errors and to get feedback on any sentences that might not be clear. Ask them to just circle or put a check mark next to the error. It's okay for them to talk with you about the trouble spot and make suggestions, but do not ask them to fix things for you. This is your essay. I hope you've learned some new strategies. The guide and PowerPoint modules, everything you need to write a successful essay, are available on the Juneteenth website under resources if you aren't sure about something. The essay writing resource guide has all the information I just shared and links to many online sources. It is really important that you read through that. It's everything you need to know. The PowerPoint modules are a great review or spot check of what I just presented and are in PDF format, so you don't need a PowerPoint to read them. If you have questions, you can email us through the website and we'll get back to you. I look forward to reading your essays and meeting you all. I wish you all the best of success with your writing.
Well, hello again, essay participants, particularly those of you in category 4. Just glad to provide this information to you on behalf of the Juneteenth education. So as we prepare for higher education, it's very important to know and to understand and prepare your financial budget for your next 4 years. For those of you who are in the 11th grade, it's important for you to start getting under your belt what scholarships that you may be able to apply for in the 11th grade. However, many of them are going to be for the when you become a high school senior. For our seniors, hopefully you have done some research on your own about how to come up with some financing for your college education. But we're going to begin by talking about what is a scholarship. So as you can see, first of all, we just need to understand what a scholarship is and what it does not do. A scholarship is a financial support that's awarded to a student based on your academic achievement or some other type of criteria that may include a financial need for the purpose of schooling. Now, there are various types of scholarships, the two most common being a merit-based and a need-based scholarship. And both of those are pretty important. But I would say you can earn a scholarship, and that's a grand way of being able to start your college financial budget, your savings, or the need-based, and those are also for those who are not able to get the funding that they need for school. Your parents may not be in a particular income bracket that allows them to put aside this additional money for your education. And so there's are the need-based scholarships. So both are important and both are warranted. For most families, I would say it's just really important to understand the financial need. So the first place to start when it comes to understanding and putting together a financial budget for your college education is know the university that you want to attend, or at least know the first 2 to 3 you're considering going to. And then they will have available to you the cost of a college education for like the first year. And you can just kind of from there multiply that out into, your next 3 years to give you a total 4-year amount that you're going to need. But start, first of all, understanding the cost of what it costs to go to college. And the amounts are different based on the institution that you decide to go to. Smaller college, smaller university, the credit hours for tuition may not be as costly as one in a larger university in a larger metropolitan city. So first, kind of know where you are considering going to college. And then from there, figure out, or you can contact your financial aid department and just tell them, I am trying to figure out my costs for attending college. Can you give me some information so I can have a breakdown? And they normally will have a breakdown of as to the cost, your tuition costs, which is your price for the classes that you take, and then based on whether you're a full-time student or a part-time student. Most scholarships are based on full-time students from what I remember. So you'll want to know how many credit hours you have to take for a full term, or however the college periods are set up and designed. Normally there is a two larger periods that make up your college year. So a lot of times that is going to be your fall and then your winter. Spring and summer are considered your smaller sessions, but those are a good time to make up additional credits. So understand that first. Once you know how much your cost is going to be, you know how much you need to raise in funding for your college education. The second way of receiving funding is through a grant. And a grant is a payment that's made to support a student's education. It's awarded on the basis of academic or other achievement. And sometimes grants are, and they don't have to be paid back. So I want to share that with you. That's important. They don't have to be paid back. The only college financials that you have to pay back would be a student loan. So just important to understand the basic differences, but both can be applied towards your tuition, and typically grants can also go towards other things as well. But just know what the school of choice is going to accept from these programs. When a institution or when a university says that your scholarship is for tuition only, those are for college credit hours, and that's for your tuition for going to school. That is for your classes and the number of classes that you take to get your credit hours for that semester. That is what it covers. It would not cover other things such as your dorm room. It wouldn't cover books and computers and things like that. So you just need to know what scholarships cover. And so when the school says you are, that you're eligible for a certain amount in a scholarship or an institution, and they say tuition only, that is for your credit hours. So it's very important you understand that, because many times students and parents don't understand that, and they say, oh, they got a full ride. Be very careful and make sure you understand if that full ride is tuition only. That means that you are still responsible for covering anything that the scholarship does not cover. Why do you need to apply for a scholarship? The main reasons that you need to apply for scholarship is to reduce your financial burden on yourself as well as your parents. In some cases, parents may have already put away for a college education, so it may cover maybe 50% to get you started. But you still would probably need to apply for scholarships to take care of maybe your remaining 2 years. So you figure out the amount of what that would be, and make sure that you have that available so that the school has that in your account to take care of your financial responsibility at the time that it's needed. Okay, there are wealth scholarships available to students that few are aware of. And hopefully the websites that I'm going to provide at the end of the presentation will help you with that. And then the process is very tedious. Getting scholarships, it's not something that can be done very easily. But once you have done it once or twice and are acclimated to the process, it does become a lot simpler. But the process can be very tedious, it's very discouraging, and extremely time consuming. So both you and your parents need to understand that. But I would say that given the opportunity that money is on the table, you still should spend the time and try to go forth with applying for scholarships. If you run into situations, we do have enough of us on Juneteenth Education that if you were to send us an email, one of us would respond back to you and provide you some information, maybe how to answer a question, how to better respond to a question on the application that you may get stuck on. And as we're available, as well as, check with your counselors and other people that you're in touch with about your financial and your college education. It's just really important just to make sure that things are taken care of in the proper way. Now, here's some scholarship tips I think are important for you to follow. Follow the guidelines that are detailed in the application. And this is on our second page of our scholarship information packet. And that packet is available online to you as well. So let's cover our scholarship tips. You're going to follow the guidelines that are detailed in the application. Very important that you do that. One of the things we teach when you do your essay is to follow the rules and guidelines. So it's no different than when you apply for your scholarship. Do not add certificates or awards, but include a one-page resume, or sometimes if it's a detailed resume, it may be more than one page. Type it. Do not write it or print it. Type it. Make it sure it's professional looking. You can use Times New Roman or Arial in a size font of 11 to 12 size for your font. That's acceptable. And be sure to have 2 to 3 people proofread your application to make sure it's filled out correctly. Give yourself plenty of time to work on the application, and take about a minimum of 2 weeks is what's suggested. If you have questions, call the organization providing the scholarship, or as I indicated earlier, there are many sources that are available to you at no charge that are willing to help you through the process and help you with questions. And we are just one of those organizations, in addition to your school. Some of the local, local universities, and there are organizations that help with students' education that you can also tap that can help. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I do have some scholarship websites that I think that are going to be helpful for you for the process. And I have 4 that are listed on this presentation, and you feel free to use those. There are others, but these are some that I tried to look for some that were somewhat basic but very complete, and also maybe a little more user-friendly to you. And I think that you start off with scholarships for students, and you can see that the link there, you can jot that down or just bring that up and copy off of the document and bring that up, take a look at it. And it is some of your easier basic scholarships. And then there's another website that's called Find College Scholarships for 2024 scholarships. Very good one. You want to see what's available for you for 2024 if this is your graduating year. To also go into that website and see what they've got available for you. There's another website that I located called Free Scholarship Applications. Take a look at that website and see what that way you can get a good sense of the applications and the process on that one. And then for you can, based on what your needs are, and these are probably going to be a little tougher to get. So I left this one as number 4, but scholarships up to $50,000. And the website address is available for those particular scholarships, and those are done by amount. And so you've got them. You've got these scholarship availabilities in a number of different ways to you. When you go into that very first one, which is the basic one, scholarships for students, it's going to ask you what you're majoring in, if you know where your interest lies and so forth. And it's going to direct you to scholarships that involve the area of studies. So you've got a good cross-section of websites and links available to you. More will come up once you start working with these, but these are just some 4 that we're suggesting. to use to get you started. Please don't wait till the last minute. It's very important. If you need more than one scholarship, which more than likely you are going to need, be sure to take some of the smaller ones. They may be a little simpler to get through on the process, but also, you know, apply for one of the larger ones or one that maybe is in between. And you may be able to apply for a couple of those pretty comfortably. But know what your, work with your parents, know what your needs are for your financial future, and help have them assist you with preparing by applying for scholarships and seeing what grants are available. So that's what I have to share with you on the scholarship information piece. I hope this has been helpful to you. Very important to have the money out of the way when you go to college so that it's less of a burden and it doesn't tie you down constantly worrying about how am I going to get the next year paid. If you can get it and have it already stored up, you're in a better position to keep yourself to where you can focus on your studies, which is why you're at college. So again, this is Deborah Plummer with the Juneteenth Education Division of the Lansing Juneteenth Committee. And I hope this information is something that you can use, but feel free to email us at www.lansing.juneteenthcelebration.org. And then you can go to, on your drop-down menu, you can go to education and essay. And you will find the scholarship information available to you online. And the education email address is available anywhere on the essay pages on the website. So just click on that and email us, and we'll be glad to answer your question, get back to you with any help that you need. So thank you.